Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we will be continuing Animorphs number 3, The Encounter by K.A. Applegate. There was nothing to do but wait. Wait while the water level inside the ship rose and carried my friends toward the top of the chamber, up to where the grate was. I could not maintain my level flight beneath the ship any longer. I said goodbye to my friends and zoomed out the far side. The open air was a blessing. I soared high on a nice thermal pattern created by the ship itself. I rose high up and over the top of the ship. The park rangers were all round on the ground. The helicopters and two of the bug fighters were still parked on the ground in the little clearing. The blade ship was there too. Two other bug fighters continued zipping around at treetop level. While I watched, they brought the hork-bajir who had carelessly fired off the Dracon beam. They dragged him before Visser Three. We'd gotten so we thought of hork-bajir as these totally fearless, deadly monsters, but this hork-bajir was not looking very brave. He collapsed on the ground before Visser Three. I almost felt sorry for him. It was one of the terrible things about our battle against the Yeerks. See, our enemy was just the Yeerk slug that lived in the head of controllers. That hork-bajir may have been made a controller totally against his will. He had lost his freedom to the Yeerk in his head. Now, he was about to lose his life. For something that he had no real control over. I couldn't hear what was happening down on the ground, but I could see. My hawk's eyes could see far too well. I turned away. I won't tell you what was happening to hork-bajir. That memory will be my own private nightmare. But when next I looked, the hork-bajir was gone. And in his place was a sudden rush of other hork-bajir and toxins and humans, all surrounding Visser Three. The Visser looked angry. He was pointing at the sky. Within a few seconds, the helicopters were lifting off. The two bug fighters powered up and took off. I had a very bad feeling that I knew what had happened. The doomed hork-bajir had told Visser Three about the bird he had fired at, and some other controller had probably said, "Oh yeah, I saw a bird acting suspiciously too." And someone had no doubt said, "Hey, wasn't it a bird that distracted the hork-bajir yesterday and let that human get away?" Visser Three had put two and two together. An animal acting unlike an animal meant just one thing to him. Andalites in a morph. I guess I should have been flattered that Visser Three believed we Animorphs were true Andalite warriors. But it didn't make any difference whether he thought I was an Andalite or a human. He was sending his creatures into the sky looking for a bird that was no bird. Me. A bug fighter skimmed over the trees. Its twin Dracon beams fired again and again in short, sharp spears of burning light. My heart was in my throat. They were killing every bird they saw. The hawk! This was her territory. But then, behind me, a helicopter. Thwack, 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 phew! A Dracon beam. A near miss. I couldn't get away. Between the bug fighters and the helicopters, they were too numerous and too fast. But there was one place no one was going to risk firing a Dracon beam. Not after what Visser Three had just done to the careless hork-bajir. I let go of the air beneath my wings and dropped down, down, down toward the vast truck ship spread below me like a steel meadow. In an instant, they were all on me. But the angles were wrong. I was too close to the ship. They couldn't fire. I landed on top of the hovering ship. I planted my talons on the hard, cold metal surface. It stretched in every direction around me. The surface curved down and away from me so that I couldn't even see the edges. It was as if I were standing all alone on a metal moon. Over my head hovered helicopters and bug fighters. I could see human and hork-bajir and toxin eyes all focused on me. I knew the look in their eyes, the look of the predator, and me, their prey. Oh, that's good old happy times. And hello, one viewer. It's a little more nerve-wracking doing this when there's actually a viewer. But anyways, yeah, it was very short reading today. And that hork-bajir thing. I mean, this is the third book in the series, of the young adult series. I must have been like 9 or 10 reading this, and there's something so bad that happened in this chapter that Tobias was like, yeah, I'm not saying shit about that. Like, third book. I mean, we've had suicide, and now we have something so horrible that Tobias can't even begin to describe it. And mind you, the first book featured the good alien Alfengor getting eaten alive. Okay, with those twists and turns throughout the series, that scene actually gets way worse. Okay. And if you want to discuss all things nice and happy about Animorphs with me, comment below. We can strike up a conversation. But no major spoilers. I would like the people to watch these videos for when they're discovering Animorphs. So, you know, you don't want to be spoiled about some of the big things that happen. But if you do want to do spoiler talk with me, if you're watching on the YouTubes, link in the description to my Tumblr Ask box, which needs a lot more attention than it's gotten. And if you're one of those people that are discovering Animorphs through these videos, and for some reason my horrible dramatic reading makes you go, yeah, I'd really like to read that book. This sounds interesting. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, link in the description. And if you're watching this on my blog, underneath the video there's an ad. Both things lead to where you can buy your own nice copy of Animorphs number 3, The Encounter by K. Applegate. And if this dramatic reading made you think, hey, I'd like to own... Oh, shit. I was doing so well there. If you've watched this dramatic reading and you're like, hey, I'd love Jashikins to do a dramatic reading of my own fanfic or my own ebook, I do commissions for this. And if you're watching this on the YouTubes, link in the description. And if you're watching this on my blog, link up there. Both links go to where you can find more information about commissioning me for Jash reads. You know, prizes, things they do, things they don't do. So, woot! Fun times. And yeah, I think I've gone through all the links things. And oh yeah, please like and subscribe. I don't get enough attention in my daily life, so I go to you, people of the interwebs, to get the attention I so desire and crave. Please love me. Oh, I have some very good moving news. I'm going to hopefully be moved into the new house on Tuesday. And that'll be really, really awesome to finally be out of this place. But then again, I have to talk to Dad about some of the technical moving stuff. That should be simple, but when you're dealing with Dad, it can go either way. But I'm just so fucking happy. I'm going to be leaving in just a few days. I'm going to be out of here. It's going to be it's really exciting to me. Just going out and yeah, and I'll try to start, rotating my hats because I've been wearing Eevee for so many videos in a row. It's like I do have other hats. And I was thinking of wearing a different hat for this video, but all my other hats are at the new house, so yay! Yeah. And now it comes to the well wishes part. I see I lost my one view. Oh, now she's back. And so now we come to the well wishes part, a part where I say some well wishes and then I drink. Usually it's sake, but since I'm only going to open the new bottle at the new house, I'm now doing it through something non-alcoholic, water tonight. And if you want to join in, there's two ways. One, if you have your own well wish and want to have that included in next video, comment below and it will be included. And you can also drink along. Drink along with your favorite alcohol or liqueur or whatever the fuck you find lying around. And if you don't drink for any numerous reasons, I'm, chug along with some water, soda, milk, whatever. There were no well wishes submitted for this episode, so it's all about me. It's all about me to come up with them. First off, I hope everyone's well, that you're not having to deal with some medical bullshit, because in the US, that's like, no, that's just a pain in the head, ass. Yes. And also hope that moving goes smoothly. I mean, just the anticipation is bad enough, but then when I have to start working with Dad, I hope that goes well. I hope Rev Resner doesn't get too stressed over at the house. He was starting to text me going, yeah, I'm sort of going a little crazy just being alone. So hopefully nothing too bad happens. So. And Anthony Bourdain died, I think, yesterday. That's when I noticed the news feed on Facebook and I think a little bit on Twitter. I knew of him, but I wasn't really a fan. I didn't really keep up with him, but he committed suicide, and as someone who has suicidal feelings, I've never attempted, and I hope to, keep it that way. I don't know, just hearing about someone committing suicide just hurts, even though I don't know them personally, because I know how bad that pain can be. So I hope that wherever he is now, he's in a better place. And if you are experiencing, if you feel like committing suicide, seek out the help you need. You're not being weak. There's nothing wrong, with you seeking help. And to the people who aren't suicidal, keep a check with your friends, because people that are feeling so down, so depressed and suicidal won't sometimes willingly seek out help. So you need to actually look after and take care of them and check up on them. And people who are going through depression, going through suicide, thinking of committing suicide, may act really happy. So if you're looking for your friends to be looking down, that's, yeah. So, yeah. And I hope that if you are experiencing any suicidal feelings, that you're able to get through it. Yeah. Oh, God. Got a little more emotional than I intended there. And so let's drink along. And on a happier note, the next episode of Jash Reads will be more of Animorphs #3, Then Counter by Kay Applegate. And that episode will air tomorrow around 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, the next episode will be more of Animorphs #3, Then Counter by Kay Applegate, and will air tomorrow around 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you very much for the one person that has stuck through this whole entire episode. Thank you.